There's a strange kind of magnetism that exists between a narcissist and an emotionally wounded woman. It's not loud or obvious. At first, it feels like recognition, like home, like finally being seen. The way they look at you, the way they seem to understand you so quickly, it's intoxicating. But what starts as a deep connection soon becomes a quiet erosion of your spirit. If you've ever found yourself drawn to someone who made you feel both special and small, safe and scared, loved and invisible all at once, this video is for you. Because this isn't just about toxic people. It's about the unhealed spaces inside your heart that call out for love, and how sometimes that call attracts someone who knows exactly how to answer it for all the wrong reasons. On this channel, we explore emotional healing for women, how to understand your patterns, reclaim your boundaries, and rebuild your sense of worth after being emotionally drained or manipulated. Stay until the end of the video, because by the final part, you'll understand not just who the narcissist truly is, but why you might have been drawn to them, and how to finally break free from that invisible pull. 1. What makes a narcissist so irresistible at first? At the beginning, a narcissist doesn't seem dangerous. They seem perfect, charming, confident. They know how to make every moment feel cinematic, like you're living in the middle of a love story that finally makes sense. They mirror your emotions, your dreams, even your wounds. They listen closely, not to understand you, but to study you. They pick up on the small things you crave: validation, protection, belonging, and reflect them back in ways that feel almost magical. For a woman who's been ignored, dismissed, or undervalued for too long, that level of attention can feel like healing. It's not love, but it looks a lot like it. The narcissist becomes a kind of emotional illusionist, someone who uses words, gestures, and intensity to make you believe you've finally been chosen. But the truth is, their attraction to you has little to do with love. It's about power. The moment you start to believe you need their approval, the balance begins to shift. What makes them so irresistible is not who they are. It's how deeply they make you feel seen. And for someone who's lived with emotional hunger, that can feel impossible to walk away from. 2. The hidden pattern behind the attraction. The connection between a narcissist and an emotionally fragile woman isn't random. It's a pattern that forms in silence long before the two ever meet. Many women who fall for narcissists grew up learning that love must be earned. They learned to keep the peace, to please others, to be enough for someone who was emotionally distant or unpredictable. Somewhere along the way, pain and love got tangled together. So, when a narcissist appears intense, passionate, completely focused, it feels familiar in a haunting way. The nervous system recognizes the chaos as connection. The highs and lows become proof of real love, because calm has never felt safe. This is what makes breaking free so difficult. It's not just about leaving the person. It's about untangling years of conditioning that taught you that love and pain coexist. The narcissist simply steps into a story that was written long ago, one where you learned that your worth depends on how much you can give, forgive, or endure. Understanding this pattern isn't about blame. It's about awareness, because once you see the pattern, you can start rewriting it. 3. How a narcissist slowly drains your sense of self. At first, everything feels electric. You feel alive again, desired, needed, understood. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, the ground beneath you begins to shift. The compliments become criticisms wrapped in concern. The warmth turns into distance. You start to question yourself more than you question them. You adjust your tone, your choices, even your silence, trying to restore what you had in the beginning. But that beginning was never real. It was bait. A narcissist's attention is like a spotlight that moves whenever you reach for it. One day, you're the center of their world, and the next, you're invisible. This inconsistency keeps you chasing. You start believing that if you just love harder, understand more, or change a little, they'll come back to who they were. But they never do, because that version never existed. Over time, your energy drains, not from arguments, but from confusion. You begin to lose touch with what's real. You question your memories, your reactions, your worth. The narcissist doesn't have to destroy you. They simply convince you to doubt yourself until you do it on their behalf. That's the cruel genius of it. You think you're fighting for love, but you're actually fighting for the right to exist inside someone else's story. 4. The emotional wounds that make you vulnerable. Not every woman falls for a narcissist, but for those who do, there's often a quiet, unhealed pain underneath something that the narcissist can sense instinctively. It might be the wound of abandonment, the kind that teaches you to cling tightly to anyone who promises they'll stay, or the wound of rejection, where love always seems conditional, something you have to earn, prove, or fight for. Some carry the wound of invisibility, growing up feeling unseen, no matter how hard they tried to be good enough. So when a narcissist appears showering you with attention, that wound lights up like a flare. It whispers, "This time someone finally sees me." But that illusion doesn't heal the wound, it deepens it. Because once the narcissist withdraws affection, the old fear returns even stronger. Maybe I really am too much. Maybe I really am not enough. The truth is, the narcissist doesn't cause these wounds. They activate them. They find the cracks already there and pour themselves into them until you can no longer tell where the pain ends and the relationship begins. Healing starts when you stop asking why they hurt you and start asking why you allowed yourself to stay. That question isn't meant to shame, it's meant to awaken, because awareness is the first step toward freedom. 5. Breaking the spell and reclaiming your power. Escaping the pull of a narcissist isn't about hate or revenge. It's about remembering who you were before they convinced you to shrink. It's about taking back the parts of you that forgot what peace feels like. At first, detachment feels impossible. Your mind replays every sweet word, every promise, every moment that felt real. But healing doesn't come from replaying the illusion. It comes from seeing it for what it was, a mirror reflecting your own longing. Breaking free begins when you stop searching for closure from them and start giving closure to yourself. That means accepting that some people will never take responsibility, and some love stories were never meant to end gently. It means setting boundaries without guilt. It means grieving the fantasy while protecting the truth. It means choosing silence over explaining and distance over chaos. When you begin to rebuild, you might notice something beautiful. Your clarity returning your laughter, softening your energy, no longer revolving around someone else's moods. That's not weakness, that's rebirth. Healing from a narcissist isn't about becoming harder. It's about becoming whole. It's remembering that love isn't supposed to cost your self-worth. And someday, you'll look back, not with bitterness, but with quiet strength, and realize that what tried to break you only brought you home to yourself. Every story of heartbreak carries within it a hidden invitation to rediscover your power, to rebuild your self-respect, and to trust that your softness is not a weakness, but a strength that deserves protection. This video was never about blaming or labeling. It's about understanding why certain patterns repeat and how awareness turns pain into wisdom. Because the moment you see clearly, the spell loses its power. You are not broken for loving deeply. You simply deserve a love that doesn't require you to disappear to keep it alive. If this message resonates, share your thoughts below. Someone reading the comments might need your story to begin their own healing. And as always, because the YouTube algorithm usually promotes videos with high engagement, if you feel this video brought value to you, a simple like and a quick subscription will make a huge difference. It not only helps this content reach more people who need it, but also ensures that you never miss the next video that could make a difference in your journey. Thank you, everyone.